just like Sixto felt that he was making it up. And he just let himself go, and he just wrote and he wrote and he wrote. Now with Sixto, he got a message, and I don't know if it was the first time, but he got a message where ETs were going to make contact with him, where and when. So the exact time, the date, the time, and the location. And it was in the Chilca Desert, just outside of Lima, Peru. And then another person in the group got the same message. So that's when they compared and I thought, oh my goodness, maybe this is real. And they went out in the desert, and sure enough, a craft came down, and they could see it, and it hovered. But it didn't come all the way to the ground. And at a later time, I mean, they continued this process, and they made contact many times. They went in Zendras, everything, and made face-to-face contact with beings. And at a later date, they asked why on that first time the craft didn't come all the way down, and, you know, they have more contact. And the being said that they exhibited too much fear. So this is our whole process too, is we're trying to reduce this natural propensity to fear anything that happens. A little noise and everybody jumps. I mean, we have this propensity to just fear everything, even our own shadow, for God's sakes. Now, it can serve you well, but if you're in a protected setting, what is there to be scared about, right? Anyway, so we're here in Belize. We're at a great Serenity Retreat that is owned by Niss. And we were out observing last night. There was a little bit of rain, so we weren't out too late. Dan and I were out. Went to bed. And at home I have an alarm system on my house. And it's quite an extensive alarm system. And I'm always getting false alarms. Well, at, I guess, 4 in the morning or so, whatever time it was, I got a phone call from ADT. And I had to deal with them. So I was halfway awake, and I thought, well, maybe I'll give this opportunity right now to try the automatic writing. So I was very relaxed. Now, I never write anything these days. It's all printing. I'm too, we're always too impatient to write. I had the patience to actually write this morning. So I'm going to read what I got. Actually, it's in another book. I will be right back.
So you were right in bed last night.
I'm sorry?
You were here last
Yeah.
night, and you had your book
Yep.
by your bed?
I had my little journal here, and I took a pencil, and I was just writing whatever came to mind. Now, I believe I was making it up, and you're going to see it's really nothing super special, but it's what happened next when I fell asleep that I consider that has a little bit of meaning to it. So I'll read my message, and that's as neat as my writing can get. So anyway, this is what I wrote. I'm trying my hand at automatic writing to see if a message from our ET star brothers and sisters comes through. And this is what I wrote. It is with great pleasure that I write you this AM while you are awake early in the morning. Yes, we would like to set up and rendezvous with you and your group at a time and place that will work out for you. The time, place, and date will be given to you in a future message. Now go back to sleep and we will contact you again. With kind regards and love from Antarel and Avika. Good night, Rob. So, I was kind of playing with this. Whether this was, I'm going to say this was more my imagination. But because you got to write something down, and it's like, well, what would you write? What would they say? And I wrote it, right? So I fell asleep. I was very tired, and I fell asleep, and my book and pencil were right there, and then I woke up. And in the dream, there was my laptop computer. I'm going to just read what I had. So the dream right after, I was looking down at my laptop. Now, I'm printing this because I have no patience to write. So this is my sort of more of my conscious self. But I was looking down at my laptop, and there was a communication cable attached to it, my laptop, with a very large square connector fitting that was attached to it. So there was the laptop, a very large square connector, and then a communication cable. And I was looking at this was in my dream, and I heard a voice, "Your connection is secure." And that was in the dream. So there you go. And it's time to get up. So,
Wake up!
if that is a message or not, right?
I will see that.
That was not set up. That was coincidental, or was it?
Or was it?